Hey guys, Ramblin' Man here. It's late at night as I record this at the end of a day, and I'm experimenting. I bought a new DJI action camera, and I also bought their wireless DJI microphone. That's what's right here recording this. This is their stick I'm recording this on. And so I'm just giving this a shot, playing around with it. So I'm just going to introduce the video. I bought the Osmo action camera made by DJI and got it this weekend. And this is very much a temporary setup, and I decided just to take you along on the first trials that I was testing. I got it wrong in the beginning with some gain settings as I learned about the camera. And for this video, I was really just focused on the audio. There's a lot of settings in the camera I haven't played around with. I'll just stipulate the sound on the first two runs sounds really bad, and then by the third one I got it right. And on the field of view, this camera has a wider field of view than the Ace Pro. I did send the Ace Pro back, and but it's so wide that to me it makes the bike look like it's pushed in and skinny. And I'm not so sure I like it. It does show more of the edges of the road, so if you're going for the view, that might be the way to go. And I was also testing this new Shoei Neotec 3 helmet that came. That was the first time I was wearing this on the road. So I had a lot of firsts going on with this helmet, the camera, and the wireless mic. And not meant to be a technical review, just sharing some of the ride here, and as I dial in and decide whether I'm going to keep this camera or not. So that's the introduction to the video. I'll see you on the road.
Hey guys, this is Ramblin' Man. We're going to see together how this sounds. So, for those who saw my Ace Pro camera test, I sent that camera back. It was okay, but the more I studied it and watched, I felt like the DJI model Osmo Action had a better field of view, but I want to test it. This is my first time with a lot of things. So, right now we're testing a new Shoei helmet, the Shoei Modular Neotec 3. I bought a DJI Osmo Action 4 camera and the DJI Wireless Mic 2. Right now you're hearing a Bluetooth connection. I thought I had cut the gain all the way down, but it looks like it's maxing out. I'm going to take a short ride, and we'll see together how this sounds, maybe if I share the footage, and also see how it looks. This is my first time testing the video outside the house. I've been all weekend kind of futzing around in my home office there trying to play around with it. So let's see how we get on with this thing. All right, Ramblin' Man, we're on the road. Going 60 miles an hour, seeing what sort of wind, engine, and voice noise is going on here. Now, for those wondering, I kind of consider this a temporary test setup. I used some 3M double-sided tape. Took me a long time to get it all with my arthritic-like hands at times, but to peel back all this tape. But I got the DJI wireless mic, you may not know this, it has a magnet. It comes with it, so you can put the magnet like in your lapel or your shirt and hang the wireless mic transmitter. So what I did was use 3M tape and put it on the small magnet and put that inside my helmet, and I have the wireless microphone inside the helmet held on by a magnet. I say temporary because if I can find a spot I'd probably put more magnets, maybe 2 magnets. Now I'm also testing this helmet. Now the thing with the the thing with the location of this little device, it's deceivingly, it's not big, but it's, look, you think you're going to have plenty of room in your helmet for it, and I'm here to say you do not. Right now, what's the word I'm looking for? The cat, little glove, whatever they call that thing, to put over the microphone to soften the wind noise, is rubbing right in my nose, and that was the best trade-off. And also, part of the device is rubbing my right cheek, which, frankly, if I lost some weight, I probably wouldn't be having that problem. But it took me a long time to find a spot that I could put this in where it wasn't annoyingly rubbing. Like this I could live with, I think. It's did the camera cut off? Alright, so I don't know if I'm still recording or not. I don't know why the camera would have cut off, but now I'm going to have to pull over and check. I don't see a status LED indicator light. Well, good Lord, guys. So one thing I liked about the Ace Pro was they had this huge status light that you just quick glance at a mirror and you knew that it was working. Here, it's this little bitty, teeny bitty light right there that I couldn't see at a distance like this. Man, I wish that was larger. That's really pathetic. I think I'm going to hit stop here for a second, and I don't think there's any settings I can really change on the sound. I didn't bring the receiver for the mic, and I don't think there's anything on the camera, but I'm going to check that out and hit pause for a second. Alright guys, I was having some trouble. Apparently DJI has got like multiple apps. They have an app for their drones, an app for something else, an app for this. I mean, I think I had to download like 3 different DJI apps, and I was just trying to find the one quickly to let me pair to the camera, which I've already done, and I've got it on my helmet, and then it wanted me to confirm again, and the thing's sitting on my helmet, and I don't want to mess with it right now, so I'm going to do another little test ride, leaving the settings unchanged. And then, if I have time before daylight runs out, do a couple runs where I'm going to see if I can change the gain setting. This is a test, I think, with both vents open now. Both vents open. This position where the mic is pretty good. The dead cat is still rubbing my nose slightly, but from all the reviews, I think I need it in there. If it comes loose from the magnet, I got the chin guard in here, so I think it would catch on that. There's also the issue of whether you can lift the modular helmet and it not catch and knock the microphone off. I tested it a couple of times, more than a couple, and it did knock it off in certain positions. And then in others, obviously it didn't. It had just enough clearance where I could lift the helmet. Now, of course, if you lift the helmet, the microphone's no longer in front of you. Now this thing comes with 2 transmitters, the microphone does, so if you wanted to, you could put one like in your pocket or somehow clip it to the back of the bike if you wanted more engine noise. This is not something I've aspired to do thus far. I've also seen a lot of audio snobs out there on some of the other channels that have tested the same setup, or any setup for that matter, telling them their audio sounds terrible. Some of you might have said it about mine. For what I'm trying to accomplish, if you can understand what I'm saying, that's a good start. I have a feeling, based on the red bars I'm getting, that there's going to be too much clipping going on here. So that's why I want to play around with the gain setting. I hope that every time you want to use the camera on your, use your phone rather, to preview what's on the camera, that it doesn't make you pair every time. Maybe I got the wrong app open, but it certainly found the camera, and I had connected with it before. The problem is I got too many apps, and they don't all have the words DJI at the start. I'm going to log off here for a second, and then maybe you'll see me back on the road, but so far you can say what you thought of this mic and this video as well with the Osmo Action 4 in default settings.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. All right, guys, I'm back at the house, and I'm running out of daylight, and I got a little errand I got to run, so I got up against time here, but I was able to reduce the gain. I had it at -10. I've taken it to the max that's available for the transmitter of -12. It doesn't look like it's redlining. Well, maybe it is. I'm not wearing my glasses, and it's kind of hard for me to see if that's orange or red hitting at the end. If we're not meeting the peak, it's darn close. And I take back what I said when I said that as long as you can understand me, that's what I'm aiming for. Well, I could understand myself when I did a quick check, but it was maxing out and sounded terrible. And I'm hoping I can make this work wirelessly. There's not a lot of great places to mount this microphone, so it's right in front of my mouth. I'm going to do another test on the road and come back. I'll see you on the road.
Alright, so I'm back out on the road. This is about the normal voice I talk at. I could probably speak a little softer based on the levels I saw. I do have both vents open on this new Shoei modular helmet. There's one at the top, and there's one right at the front. I have the gain set to -12 as far as it'll go. And if we're interested, I have the Osmo Action 4 in the ultra wide view at 4K 30, and everything else set to default. I haven't messed around with anything there. We're going to get the speed up and test the camera here, test the sound. We're going about 70 actually. We'll see how this sounds. I don't have a lot of good places to move this if this location doesn't do well. And when I looked on the camera itself, I don't think it has a gain setting. It's just on the transmitter. And I know plenty of other people are using the same mic in pretty much the same way. And I tried like just setting it at -4, 6, 8, and 10, and in the office, and I saw some YouTube comments where people said they used -6, and to me it's way too low. We went out at -10 and it sounded like junk. I might do some formal reviews later, but as an informal comment on this new helmet I'm testing, the Shoei Neotec 3, which replaces the Neotec 2 that they wouldn't repair for me under warranty 5 to 6 months after I bought it. I like that they've moved the opening to the front to get the helmet open rather than off here to the side. But this is only literally my second time wearing the helmet on a ride, so I got to get used to where everything is. The sun visor they made longer, which I really like. That was one of my gripes on the other one. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Alright, this is Ramblin' Man back out one more time. So when I went home, watched some other YouTube videos and read up on some things, and so I had been messing with the gain setting on the actual microphone using the DJI equipment, but on the camera itself there is a pro setting where you can mess with the gain as well, and I set it all the way to the maximum negative level of -12, and you know what I'm running into is it looks like very subtle differences when I'm in the office just looking at the sound meter. And then as soon as I get on the bike, I'm trying to look now, it looks like just the noise of the engine sends this thing to maximum green level, and when I speak it's maxing out again. So it makes it kind of hard to sit here and test it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I assume I'm doing something wrong. I'm in a full face modular helmet. Yeah, just shunt the front vent to see if that makes a difference. And I just shut the top vent to see if that makes a difference. You know, I can see looking in the mirror, it's maxed out on all green bars before I even speak. I do have the dead cat on, as I don't want to be out after sunset, and I've got some kids waiting for Dad to pick up pizza, and I have been stalling. We can eat after the sun goes down. It has been so hot, I didn't even want to ride a couple of days, and then today was raining all day until the moment I had to take somebody somewhere. An hour-and-a-half round trip. Then the sun came out. So I was messing around with all this stuff at home, which obviously you can't duplicate this noise until you're on the bike. Now look, one of the good things about this Osmo is that you can disconnect the camera without screws. So this is me with the new Shoei Neotec 2. This is a Moto Mounts attachment that I really like. I didn't like the chin mount version. I like this Moto Mounts version. But the recording you're hearing is still from the microphone inside my helmet. Now, from what I can see, just cars going by and stuff is making the sound meter go up and down. But my voice is maxing out the yellow. I'm going to scream 1 second here. Ah! Alright. That made it hit all the way to the red. And me just talking is putting it in the yellow. Best I can tell, I've got the settings set all the way to -12 on the camera like I should. I have noise reduction off because when I watched videos of other people, it sounded like they were in a can and muffled. And I'll do some later tests at some other time. I do have the mic right in front of me. And, you know, maybe my voice is just too loud. I'm going to see if I can put this camera back on without taking the helmet off. There's two magnets you attach right here and pop them in. And it's in. Let me make sure that camera's in. Yep, camera is in. So I think that's enough playing I get to do for today. I do wish this record status button was a lot larger. Like I had some dead gnats I went through when I had my visor up at one point. Thanks for telling me, guys, that I had something on my face. All right, we'll call this the final test. Riding home. Wish I could stay out all night. This camera angle I may need to do some work with as well. Again, I consider this all temporary right now. I just really wanted to get out and capture some footage so I could tinker around with it. Now the Ace Pro, again, I sent that Ace Pro back. What I always find interesting is one of the things I sent back, which is still en route, I just did it, is already $5 cheaper. Now one thing that Ace Pro, there are a couple of things that stood out. Their status button I really like. It was a bar, bright red, couldn't miss it. Quick glance, yep, we're recording. This thing is this tiny, tiny little bitty dot. It's like, I'm sure there are people that hate something big and bright, but this little dot really stinks. But the Ace Pro really wins the contest when it comes to low light recording, which I don't really care about because I'm not recording at night very often, or even in dusk and dawn.